August 11th, 2014 is a day I and many others will never forget. I was just getting home from work and I saw on the news, Robin Williams is dead at the age of 63. I thought to myself, this has to be a mean joke. There's just no way that a great man like Robin could be dead and so soon. One Google search later, and I was in complete dismay. Robin Williams has brought me and many others throughout the world so much joy, and he's one of my biggest influences too. Today is August 11th, 2024, and today officially marks 10 years since Robin Williams died. And to honor his memory, I'm going to be giving you my top 12 Robin Williams movies that you should watch. This list will contain picks from solo Robin Williams movies and movies that had him star in with other people too. I don't think that one movie is better than the other because I'm recommending all of them. If you are new to his works, then this video will be right for you. So without any further ado, let's get into the list. Here are the top 12 Robin Williams movies that you should watch. Number 12. Starting off the list is one of the most underrated films from 2006. This is RV. I really enjoy family comedies, and Robin Williams has had some great ones in his filmography. RV has been and always will be one of my favorites of all time. Even my good friend the Mental Maniac enjoys this movie too. This movie can still get a laugh out of me as it did back in 2006. Robin announced on the KCAs, or the Kids' Choice Awards, that he was working on the film. This is not only a great film to watch with your family, but it's also a good one to watch with your friends too. Yeah, sure, the jokes are cheesy and sometimes immature, but as long as it makes you laugh and you have a good time with it, well, that's all that matters. Number 11. As a kid, I loved this movie, and I still to this day as an adult. Popeye is one of my favorite cartoon characters of all time, and Robin Williams killed it in this unforgettable 1980s classic. Yeah, the movie was a total flop, but one of the best things that made it so great was, of course, Robin Williams himself. Even now, the late great Shelley Duvall killed it as Olive Oyl. This was around the time where Mork and Mindy was drawing to a close, and the movies were going to get a dose of Robin's incredible talent. When Robin Williams sang the Popeye theme, I had chills running up and down my spine because he sounded almost exactly like him. The dancing and the flips was just more fuel to the fire. And of course, I felt like he had brought everybody's favorite spinach-eating sailor to life. Number 10. Robin Williams not only made us laugh, but there are also times where he also made us cry. This was one of those times. World's Greatest Dad is without a doubt Robin's darkest film in his entire filmography. In this film, Robin plays a writer named Lance, and so far, nothing he has written has ever been published. His son Kyle accidentally dies of autoerotic asphyxiation. He then makes it look like a suicide, and he also made a journal as if Kyle was the one who wrote it. Have any of you guys seen a movie called 1 Hour Photo that also had Robin Williams? Now, don't get me wrong, 1 Hour Photo is just as dark as World's Greatest Dad, but honestly, I view 1 Hour Photo as more disturbing than dark. World's Greatest Dad is just straight up dark, dude. And if you want to watch this movie yourselves, just be sure to have a box of tissues nearby, because you're gonna need them. Number 9. At the turn of the 90s, that is when Robin Williams' career skyrocketed. One of his most underrated 90s films, in my opinion, is the 1997 film Flubber. Flubber tells the story of Professor Philip Brainerd, an absent-minded professor who is developing a new energy source, hoping to save Medfield College from closure. And you know, he does get caught up with his experiments from time to time and often forgets the most important things in life, like getting married. Will Philip be able to save the college with Flubber? You're going to have to watch it yourself. I really enjoyed this back in the day when I was a kid, and I still enjoy it to this very day. This was a VHS tape that I would watch constantly on repeat. Every single time when I needed a VHS tape to watch, I would always pull out the 1997 classic film Flubber. So if you want something good to watch, get your slime on with Flubber. Number 8. See? I told you this would make a comeback. Jumanji is one of my favorite 90s films of all time, and like I said before in the previous countdown I made, it's criminal that this was a flop. But it was good old Robin Williams to the rescue that made this movie great. The movie tells the story of a boy named Alan Parrish. His father owns the company known as Parrish Shoes. One day, after getting beat up by the bullies, Alan discovers a board game called Jumanji. That night, he plays the game with his friend and future wife, Sarah. Alan gets sucked into the game. Will he be able to complete the game or be in Jumanji forever? Find out yourself when you watch this unforgettable 90s classic. And when one plays Jumanji, you know what they say, whew, it is a jungle out there. Number 7. This is a movie that I have many great childhood memories with. I remember watching this when I was in school. I had a VHS copy when I had a VHS player back in the day, and this was the first movie that introduced me to the legendary Tim Curry. Fern Gully is a very underrated animated 90s film, and believe it or not, this movie came out the same year as the first Aladdin. That year was 1992. Robin Williams as Batty Coda is a true delight, and I almost know all of the words to the extremely catchy Batty rap. The animation is stunning, and the cast is fantastic. Robin Williams and Tim Curry really stand out, and it's those two that make this movie memorable all these years later. And now that I'm an adult, I always like to go back and watch it. And I think you guys might have fun with this 90s movie too. Number 6. Alright you guys, we are halfway done. Number 6 on the list is a Steven Spielberg movie that is often overlooked. This is a movie from 1991, and the movie is called Hook. My good friend, the Mental Maniac, is very fond of this movie. In fact, this is his favorite Robin Williams movie of all time. The movie follows a grown-up Peter Pan, and he sets off to Neverland to rescue his children because Captain Hook had captured them. The cast is fantastic, and there are big names in the movie too. Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, Julia Roberts, Bob Hoskins, and of course, who can forget Dante Basco as Rufio, leader of the Lost Boys. I met Dante Basco back in 2023, and I asked him, what was it like working with Robin Williams? Dante replied, Alex, it was like a dream come true. He was the nicest guy I've ever met, and I only had one job, try to keep a straight face. Dante started to cry a little bit, but I gave him a hug. Hook is one of my favorite Peter Pan adaptations, and it always will be. Robin himself was a bit like Peter Pan. He once said, I'm afraid if I ever grow up, I won't be able to make a living. Nuff said, Robin Williams. Nuff said. Number 5. When Blue Sky was around, this was by far their greatest masterpiece. The world of robots is incredibly unique, and this film gets more and more love as time goes on. Just like the previous movie we just talked about, the cast for robots is filled to the brim with big names. Drew Carey, Amanda Bynes, Mel Brooks, Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, Ewan McGregor, Halle Berry, and of course, Robin Williams. Fender is one of the funniest characters Robin Williams has ever played, and I still crack up whenever he's on screen. This movie is almost 20 years old too. This one was by far one of my favorite films of 2005, and I still enjoy it today. This movie is also a great movie to watch with your friends and your family. It has some big laughs, big cast, and an overall just movie that is just chock full of big fun. And always remember this quote, you guys, you can shine no matter what you're made of. Number 4. You know, wit and warmth go so well together. They fit together like yin and yang, and this film demonstrates that wholeheartedly. Good Morning Vietnam is a fantastic war film, and it is a must-watch for 80s fans all over the world. Believe it or not, this film is actually based on a real wartime DJ. His name was Adrian Cronauer, and Robin's portrayal of him and his wildly inventive improvisation not only won him a Golden Globe for the film, but he turned Adrian's own words into a memorable tagline for posterity. I almost have the first broadcast scene completely memorized, and this is still one of the best war films ever made. So once again, if you want a film with wit and warmth, then watch yourself Good Morning Vietnam! You'll be glad that you did. Number 3. This wouldn't be a great Robin Williams movie if this movie isn't on here. Mrs. Doubtfire is a movie that will automatically come to people's minds when asked to name a Robin Williams movie. Mrs. Doubtfire is iconic, and when the trailer dropped in theaters back in the 90s, people howled with laughter, and people still do to this day. Robin's improv was great, and once again, just like Good Morning Vietnam, this movie is yet again combined with wit and warmth. If you look closely at the actors in the movie, you can clearly see they almost break character. The one who didn't break character was Sally Field. I heard Robin got a little mad when he couldn't make Sally Field break her character. Remember how I said that Robin Williams not only made us laugh, he also made us cry too? Well, Mrs. Doubtfire is the textbook example of that. It was not World's Greatest Dad from 2009 that was the textbook example. No, it was Mrs. Doubtfire. In 2014, 20th Century Fox announced that they were doing a sequel to the movie, with Williams once again as the world's most beloved nanny. After his suicide, the movie was canceled because nobody else could play Mrs. Doubtfire.
Ooh, and now, dears, we only have 2 more entries, and then next thing you know, this tribute video for Robin Williams will be all done.
Number 2! This is the movie that won Robin Williams his first and only Academy Award. This is his 1997 hit, Goodwill Hunting. This movie is very deep, and it takes a few viewings to understand it all. Now, not only is this movie extremely deep, but it also has some very damn good messages in the film. Those messages are the ones we learn later on down the road in life. The whole "it's not your fault" scene still makes me cry, and this is one of the world's most powerful movies too. If I'm helping a friend out, I often use the philosophies in this movie as well as my very own. So if you're looking for a deep film with great messages and just basically one of the most powerful movies in the 90s, give this one a watch. I highly recommend it. Okay, before Number 1! I couldn't pick any other movie that tops this timeless Disney classic. Aladdin is absolutely phenomenal. This was my very first Robin Williams movie I ever watched, and this still remains my all-time favorite in regards to his works. Robin Williams was given free range to improvise in any way he chose, and as a matter of fact, most of the genie's lines are ad-libbed by Robin Williams. And with all that genius, there was over 16 hours of material he used for the movie. Even as an adult, Robin's performance as the genie still makes me laugh so hard. I remember laughing that hard when I was a kid, and I had a stomachache for 2 days, but it was worth it. Even behind the scenes, Robin was making everybody laugh too. But Robin wasn't the only individual that made me laugh in that movie. The late, great Gilbert Gottfried also made me laugh too. So that concludes my list of the top 12 Robin Williams movies that you should watch. Robin Williams left an impact on the world that we will never forget anytime soon. Robin, thank you for bringing me and the world so much laughter and joy, and I can even say that he helped me get through tough times in my life. I may be skilled with impressions, but I wouldn't claim myself to be the new Robin Williams. There will never be a new Robin Williams. Robin Williams is gone, but his spirit and legacy lives on. And the only thing that we can do to keep it alive is to keep on laughing as hard and as loud in his honor. I will see you guys in the next video and at Fan Expo in 5 days. Peace out.